Okay, fine. We shall start now. And this is our second mock test of art and culture prelims 2021. We have around 20 questions there. Let's go for, yeah. Number one, with reference to the history of Indian rocket architecture, consider the following statements. And I would say, yes. You listen to me. Uh, yeah, yesterday we discussed usually we commit three types of errors. Am I right? Yeah, conceptual errors are there, factual errors are there, and silly errors are there. Okay, so the conceptual errors you have to stop forever, and the silly errors you have to stop forever. I mean, you should not have any more conceptual or silly errors in your final examination. You have to be very careful. You have to be thorough with the basic concepts of this art and culture. Not only art and culture, other subjects also like history, economy, geography, polity, environmental science, etc. Because the biggest revolution is, or biggest revelation is, or the biggest reality is, UPC mostly asks questions built around the basic concepts. And if you know the basic concepts, it is very easy to apply the logic here. It is very easy to apply. Yes, it is very easy to apply logic, or you can apply your educated guess if your basic concepts are crystal clear. Now, the first question, with reference to the history of Indian rocket architecture, consider the following statements. Buddhist rocket caves are called chaityas, a place of worship, while viharas is the dwelling place of the monks. Is that statement true? Regarding rocket architecture, chaityas are prayer halls and viharas are residential halls or dwelling places for Buddhist monks during rainy season. Is that statement correct? Exactly, that is absolutely correct regarding that. Yeah, rocket architecture. Rocket architecture, Achanta, Ellora, Bagh, Badami, caves are there, Sitnavasal caves, different cave architecture dedicated to Buddhism, Jainism. So this is about Buddhist rocket architecture, Chaityas, Viharas. Chaityas are prayer halls and Viharas are residential halls. And I said there is a confession ceremony held in these Viharas. Pavarna ceremony is the second statement. Kale cave is the great Vihara hall built during this Kushana rule. So two things are there. Yes, whether it is Vihara, okay, or it is by Kushanas. So when you study the architecture, be it structural architecture, rocket architecture, please consider its timeline also. During whose tenure or dynasty this particular thing is built. There are so many structures built by Mauryas in India, so many structures built by Shatavahanas and Kushanas in India, so many structures by Guptas in India, so many structures by Cholas, Imperial Cholas, Bahmani Sultans, Mughals, Marathas in India, Rajaputs in India. So you should know the timeline, the chronology of basic structures built in India during ancient, medieval, modern times. Now here, this is Kale Chaitya and this is not a Vihara, this is a Chaitya, am I right? Largest Chaitya, it's not a Vihara. Chaitya means it is prayer hall, am I right? When we discussed it yesterday, we have seen that towards the rear end there is a stupa and that Pradikshana Pada concept, etc. In front of that lion pillars, etc. We discussed. So that is a Chaitya, that is not a Vihara, and built during time of the Shatavahanas, not Kushanas. Okay, so that statement is wrong. Your answer has to be one only. Second question, with reference to Nagara architectural style, consider the following statements. So again we said that is from Himalayas to Vindhyas, and from Vindhyas to, yes, Krishna, from Krishna to Kaveri. So what is it? This Himalayas to Vindhyas, this is known as Nagara style of temple architecture. From Vindhyas to Krishna, this is called the Varsara style of architecture, and from Krishna to Kaveri, this is Dravidian style of temple architecture. And you see, regarding Nagara style of temple architecture, no water tanks in the temple premises is a correct statement. The temple premises are elaborate boundary wall or gateways is a wrong statement. Am I right? Elaborate boundary walls were the features of South Indian style. Okay, entrance of the Garbhagriha had sculptures of Dwarapalas, Yakshas or Midun. Is that true? Dwarapala concept, you know that that is connected with the Dravidian style. So all the statements are, sorry, first statement is correct, rest of the statements are wrong statements. One only is your answer. Who among the following rulers was not associated with the construction of Qutub Minar? Yes, that commissioned by Iltutmish. Am I right? Okay, who started that construction of Qutub Minar? Aibak. Qutbuddin Aibak, and he was the same person while playing that horse polo, fell down due to serious injuries. He died. Am I right? That is another UPC question. He was the most favorite slave of Muhammad bin Qasim or Ghazni or Gori. Gori. Okay, so Qutbuddin Aibak is the founder of slave dynasty. He is the same Sultan. He died while playing horse polo. Okay, and the same he is regarded as the Lags Baksh. He is a giver of lags. He was a great patron of this, like poets, dancers, musicians, scholars, etc. And here, yeah, this Qutub Minar, that is this Qutbuddin Aibak is there, Iltutmish is there, Firoz Shah and Sikandar Lodi, they are also associated with it because they were associated with the repairment of this Qutub Minar. Okay, they repaired it during the time. Balban had no connection with this particular. Balban had no connection with this particular. Yes, what is that Qutub Minar? You know Balban. Balban is very aggressive, Sultan. He called that yes, I am the state, I am the god, I am the pharaoh. You don't go for that. What is that? Khalifa. He never accepted that you must bow down in front of the Khalifa. Okay, he called himself, I am the representative of God. And he introduced various customs in the courtly discipline. What were they? Pibos and eh? What is that? Kissing of the feet and bowing down in front of this Sultan, etc. And very strict reforms introduced by Balban, and he made this like nobles disciplined and obedient, etc. So Balban and his reforms are, Balban is known for his blood and iron policy. Lag Baksh, that means the giver of lags, giver of lags. Okay, here your answer is not associated with the construction of or this Qutub Minar, which is Balban. With a reference to next question, moving on to next question. With a reference to Hoysala architecture, consider the following statements. Hoysala architecture, where it is. Yes, Halabi, that Hoyshaleshwara temple, or maybe many temples were in the news because the state ministry is promoting, or it is nominating that particular temple into this heritage site, etc. Due to which it was in the news. We know that. So Hoysala architecture. Let me tell you, this is belonging to Indian state of Karnataka. Okay, and we have seen that this architecture is known for its stellar plan. Am I right? Yeah, star shaped. Yeah, star shaped base, and also I told you that a soapstone is used as the chief material for its construction and elevation. It's a towering, or tower is known for its horizontal elevation, horizontal, not a vertical elevation, horizontal multi-tiered elevation. Then we have seen very intricate carvings on the exterior and interior of the walls of the temple, etc. We discussed yesterday. Hoysala architecture is the building style mainly concentrated in northern Maharashtra. Yes, when you study this temple architecture or rocket architecture, please try to understand its geography or its geographical location. You must understand whether it is a South Indian, North Indian, West Indian, East Indian. That idea you must have. Red sandstone is used for main building material as the main building material. Yes, we know that it is. It is, yeah, it is. Soapstone is the chief material used. Then your answer has to be Delhi. Delhi is your answer. With reference to Mughal architecture, consider following. Buland Darwaza was built by Mughal Emperor Babur to commemorate his victory over Gujarat. Exactly, this is the same way UPC asked the question. Some things are already fed in your mind. You heard about Buland Darwaza. You heard about the commemoration of victory over Gujarat. Okay, when these things are there, you will not go for Babur. You will assume that it is about Akbar. But read the sentence very carefully. Buland Darwaza, it is not built by Babur, it was built by Akbar only to celebrate his victory over this. Yes, Gujarat, to celebrate his victory over Gujarat. In fact, it is gateway to Jama Masjid at Fatehpur Sikri. Okay, so that is Since Babar word is used to that first statement is wrong. Akbar built Rambagh, the first Mughal garden in Charbagh style. That Rambagh first Mughal gardening in Charbagh style built by Babar, not Akbar. Okay. Then this Humayun laid the foundation of the city Dinpana. Okay, Humayun had so many flaws. One is like his brothers are always clashing with him. Second thing is he was spending a lot of money on building this Dinpana. By the time Sher Suri was consolidating a huge army to fight the Mughals and all. So Dinpana was a luxury city built by Humayun, but he could not complete it. Okay, and Humayun is the same Mughal ruler. While coming down the staircase of his public library, fell down and died. We heard that. Okay, so Humayun, in fact, his name say a fortunate or lucky person, but he was the most unfortunate, unlucky person in the history of the Mughals. Okay, so your answer has to be yes, yes, yes. Please find out. We already discussed in our history session. Am I right? We discussed in our history session when we discussed that particular Delhi Sultanate. I said who was the guy who given that title. Find out. Find out. Otherwise, I will. If you find difficulty, I will suggest you help you. Now here the answer is. Please tell me the answer. Please tell me the answer. You people missing one thing that is very serious about. I am very serious about that. That is revision. You people are missing revision. What you are doing, you are just learning, and you are forgetting everything. Okay, human brain obviously it has a quality to forget. Am I right? We forget everything. We forget everything. We forget everything. Okay. But again, we have a quality like we have to revise everything. We must have a quality that we must revise everything. You revise again and again. Revision is very important here. I am so proud to say that many questions being directly asked from my material, my class notes or my classes. Okay, very proudly I am telling you. And the biggest problem is last time also few students said, sir, very strange questions asked from history I never seen, and I showed them the page numbers. Then they find that yes, the exact words are there. So the problem with you is, let me ask you one thing. How many of you completely read this material 3-4 times? History, economy, geography, polity, environmental science. How many of you finished 3-4 times revision of these subjects? Proper revision of the subjects? If you really wish to clear this year prelims examination, take care that or make sure that before the D-Day, you must finish revision of all core subjects minimum 3 to 4 times. I don't know how will you set it. How will you arrange it? Maybe you will set 14 days or 10 days for one subject, or a single day you are doing 3 subjects. That is up to your comfort only. But make sure that before the D-Day, before 27, all of you guys must finish revision of all core subjects 3 to 4 times, and make sure you solve minimum 10,000 questions also. 8,000 to 10,000 questions, including your previous year's questions. All of you guys must practice. Are you getting the logic? Previous year's questions, PDFs I will be sharing in the mentorship channel. We have a mentorship channel. All the previous years question banks I will be sharing there. All of you take the printout and practice it. And I would say don't go for online practice. You must practice offline. Take the OMR sheets and practice offline. Are you getting logic? Fine. Now here, yeah, the third statement is the only correct statement there.